You may have seen in the headlines recently that Garrard County is in a bit of a quandary. Their police department, due to budgeting constraints, has been cut effective this July. WBON-TV went down to the courthouse to get the information straight from the source from Judge Executive for the county, John Wilson. Unfortunately, Wilson did not have much good news to convey, as he says there have already been repercussions in this short amount of time since the announcement to cut the force came about. He says that the leadership will now go solely over to the sheriff of the county in an effort to save money.
At Whitaker Bank, your success is our priority, and that is why we have experienced lenders and personnel to assist you with all of your financial needs. With 2 convenient locations in Stanton and Clay City, Whitaker Bank is your partner for success, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
The fiscal court has voted to dissolve the Garrard County Police Department, and what that will mean from a practical standpoint is that all law enforcement duties will transfer to the sheriff's office. And so right now our sheriff is in the process of hiring officers, whether those be our existing officers or new people. He'll be doing that, and on July 1st he will take over the responsibilities. So what I've done is prepared a budget for him, a proposed budget that leaves the 8 officers that he requested to come over to his department at their current rate of pay, so that way the public would see a minimal amount of change. So whether he keeps them and what he's going to pay, that's really up to him. And I think a lot of our officers are very upset and anxious because they're concerned about whether they will have a job, and what we've seen is some of the officers have started to look for jobs elsewhere, just given the uncertain climate here. We've already had 2 officers who have announced that they're leaving, so we're a little short on our schedule. And then what we've seen is a decrease in the amount of proactive policing, and I think that's just a result of the low morale that probably exists right now, unfortunately. Initially, the fiscal court raised taxes so that we could maintain the same level of law enforcement. And what we heard from the public, very loud and clear, was cut the taxes and cut services. And we heard it over and over again: live within your means. My family are here, and I've got children here, and I care very much about the community, and I really sincerely hope that the sheriff is able to make this work, because it's critical and the community depends on a good law enforcement agency. And I think in the Garrard County Police Department we had a law enforcement agency that the community was proud of and that produced some very positive results for Garrard County, and hopefully he can continue that tradition. Cutting law enforcement is never a good thing. There's an average of what's appropriate, the coverage for a community of our size, and we're already below that number. So we are already underserved with our department as it is now. We need more officers, not less officers. And so what we're going to see as we make those cuts in officers, we will see crime go up. We serve the public, and if the public wants to have fewer services for less money, then that's what they're going to get. And that's what I think the elected officials that make these decisions heard from the public, and the public said, we're willing to have less services as long as we get less money. And it's just like anything in life, you get what you pay for. So if you don't want to pay much, you're not going to get much. Our community is seeing drugs that have never existed 20 years ago. And so we're seeing, lives impacted and families impacted in ways that were never impacted 20 years ago. And that just, quite frankly, takes a larger response from the government. Our jail bills are going up, our ambulance bills are going up, and our police bills are going up. So where do we come up with the funds to pay for that? And unfortunately, I think that we've done a poor job communicating that message to the public, and so the public has said, make the cuts. And so that's what the elected officials have done here, and I think it's a shame, and I'm very concerned moving forward.
It shall be seen on July 1st how the new changes will be implemented under the care of the sheriff in an effort to save money for taxpayers while still serving and protecting the people of Lancaster and Garrard County. Stay tuned as WBON-TV hopes to follow up with more details on these ongoing changes. For WBON-TV, I'm Marissa Hempel.